Folks, I have the honor and privilege of introducing our Congressman, Leonard Boswell. Leonard is Iowa through and through. He has served and makes a big difference in our lives every day. Fights for us. Fights for the democratic ideals that mean everything to us. And he has a huge fight on his hands, and we are going to help him win that fight. It's my pleasure to introduce Congressman Leonard Boswell.
Well, thank you so much. It's good to be here. It's amazing from the parking lot to here how much activity we've had this morning. And it's good. I love it. And it's a good thing. I look out in the audience, I see these signs, and boy, a lot of them look very familiar. Yeah. When we heard about reapportionment, it was kind of an interesting thing. Grant, Chief Staff, where you at, Grant? Grant Woodard's here somewhere. He's way in the back, way he's on. But anyway, he made the comment, and he said, boy, it's going to be a tough district. I said, yeah, I know, it kind of fits like a comfortable glove. It really feels good. And so it's been kind of an experience, and when we heard, it's been over a year ago before Easter, reapportionment was put out. And so I looked out over it, it was kind of surprising. I don't know, I kind of had in my mind we was going to probably be Polk County and contiguous or something. I just never thought about it too much. I think my opponent had, maybe more than I, but he had moved to Story County. And he was thrown in with King. I thought, well, that'd be interesting. I wonder which one of them was going to move in with me. And we found out. But anyway, I called Dodie. She's not here today. We've had a death in our family. Her sister's husband has passed, and so she's there, and I'm here, and I'm going to join her later. But I called her up, and I said, we was visiting. We're planning on going to Denver for kids for Easter. And how much time have I got? You know, Grant, and well, Sally's here too. I'm not very good on 30-second sound bites. Anyway, I called her up and I said, so we were talking about the plans to go to Colorado. I said, I'm thinking maybe we not go to Colorado. She said, oh, what do you got in mind? I said, I would like to have a second honeymoon. She said, yeah, where are we going? I said, Southwest Iowa. Sally Bowser was running the show right then, pretty much, and got a hold of Becky Lane. Some of you remember her, and and Grant, they all hustle, and we had a tour, and some of you here know that we spent about 3 days coming around. It was like a reunion. I enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. And then I'll take it on to a thing that happened with my family. Some of you know my daughter Cindy. She's the middle one and the one that's kind of tells us all what to do. Does a pretty good job. We're very proud of her. She's got 20 people that come to her for her payroll, so she's doing all right. And we were all together down at the farm, and they kind of like to go there for special occasions, and look, them, their kids, a couple of great grandkids crawling around. And Cindy said, Dad, what are you going to do? What do you mean? Well, she said, I could tell then all of a sudden that they'd been talking. She said, you spent over 20 years in the Army and survived going to Vietnam twice. You come back and the community asked you to go to the Iowa Senate and you went there. And they, of course, know all the details, and you got the call that you go to Washington, and you have. So that adds up to a lot of years. I said, so you're thinking maybe it's time to quit? Well, we want to know what you're thinking. I said, well, let me tell you what I think's going on. Your mother and I's okay. At this point in our life, we're okay. But I don't think you are, and I don't think they are, as I pointed to the little ones. That we got a precarious moment Now make no mistake about it. The acts going on will happen to our children and our grandchildren, and I think it's the biggest that I have ever seen in my life. You've heard this before, but I'm telling you, this is the time I'm very, very concerned about it. And just what happened this week. This week, to rob Paul to pay Peter, or rob Peter to pay Paul, they're going to take it out. Going to take it out on education, the future of all of us, and pay for it by taking it out on women and children. Now, come on. Oh, by the way, it's okay to let the giant subsidies keep going to the oil companies who are making record profits. Now, that's the kind of mentality we're dealing with. I know some of you probably saw the speaker speak yesterday. I hope it didn't make you ill, but maybe it did me a little bit. They're misdirected. And then we think about what's happened to the Supreme Court, the super PAC, our country is in jeopardy. And we have to absolutely make a commitment. So I wasn't talking about all that stuff. I talked about the future of those kids and the opportunity to have the American dream. And they know that their dad, me, I had the American dream. I was born in a tenant farmhouse about 75 miles south of here. And look what I've gotten to do. And the doors were education. And sorry, Sally, you'll have to suffer through it again. But Mrs. Varner, think about your early teachers. God bless the teachers. And she saw I was kind of a restless child and probably going to be difficult. I think maybe there's some, yeah. But we're out in a country school on a dirt road. And she said, Leonard, if you would just learn to read, see that little shelf of books? And your mind will let you go anywhere in the world, let you do anything you want to do. And I believed her. Folks along the way, but it's happened. I have gotten to enjoy the American dream, and I don't know if our kids, your kids, or my grandkids are going to get that chance unless we get very serious about this election. Now, excuse me, I know what you can do, a lot of you, and I can start naming names out there. When you get your mind made up and say, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to talk to my family. And I'm going to talk to my friends. And I'm going to take it to the coffee shop. And I'm going to take it to the workplace. We can do this. They're going to try to buy this election. Make no mistake about it. Karl Rove and Crossroads America and the wealthy candidates I'm running against, they're going to try to buy it. I'll tell you this, we don't have to match that super fund and all that stuff, but we have to do our plan. And that's where we all share together. Now, if I'm committing to this, and I am committing to this, I want you to commit to this. Are you committed to this? I believe you. Now we've got to get it done. We have to do it. And we're going to be organizing and talking about it and thinking about things. I want you to meet a couple of people. I'm going to just bring them down here. Kevin Mattick, he just arrived last night, campaign manager. Are you on the floor here somewhere, Kevin? Get your tail down here. Justin, Justin, you on the floor?
Justin's outside.
Grant Woodard, are you out there on the floor somewhere? Well, you can come on down too. They're going to see a lot of you. Come on. Just a little reminiscing, you know, I didn't have to come up here, but it's okay. You stand right out here, I want to get a good look at you. All right. You'll see a lot of these guys. And I'm putting a lot of load on their shoulders. You look at them, they're young, they're strong, and we've only got them here because we think they're smart. And we think they're dedicated. You're going to see a lot of them. And I'm going to tell them, don't ask me to do something you can't do. But don't be afraid to ask you to do the things that we think you can do. Because, again, we know who you are, many of you. And you're here because you're committed. We got a lot at stake. And we don't have a lot of time. We have got to turn out to vote. We've got to get the early voting in. We've got to do those things that you know how to do. And you know, we got this lady over here that we recognized and honored her for her great leadership in the county level. There's much we can do. So let's just make up our mind. I want you to really enjoy each other today, fellowship, encourage one another, and then let's go forth. And over these next months that lie ahead of us, let's go do what's right for our children and our grandchildren and this wonderful country that we have had the opportunity to enjoy the American dream, and we're going to give it back, and we're not going to let them put Medicare on voucher system, and we're not going to let them take education opportunities away from our children, because that's the future. You know, every one of us at some point in our life, and yes, already, if you haven't, you certainly know people in your family that have got to be able to have access to affordable health care, available affordable health care. We're just passing the 2-year anniversary. When you think of the things that's been proven already, and just that's what that was yesterday. What it was to try to take something away from it that's actually working, saving money and lives. When you think about women and children getting their checkups and the things that they will take away if they do that. And we had pages of different organizations that don't do that. They're willing to do it anyway. They said, well, we got nowhere else to go. We got this problem. They got amnesia how we got the problem, but we got this problem, so we're going to have to go take it away from those that are the least able to fight back. And oh yeah, we're not going to mess with Wall Street. We're not going to mess with oil companies because, well, we just don't do that. Let me tell you, we represent the 90% or more, and they don't. And that's what my opponent is. And I feel pretty bad. Just remember what was said the other day. You know, Bin Laden's gone, but Chrysler and GM are still here. I want to thank the audience. Just a couple I noticed. I know the mayor is here. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your hard work and being a Democrat, wherever you are, somewhere. Akeo, my dear friend Akeo, who I rely on for so much. And there's another guy out here, Desmond Adams. Are you in the crowd somewhere? Not there. I want Desmond to have your support as well as mine. He's got mine, and I think he's got yours. He's got an uphill battle. But you know, Senate District 22 is available. And you got a candidate like Desmond. So get to know him and help him out and make it happen. And with that, I want to thank you. So thank you very, very much. And I'm going to go on and our Vietnamese American community and be with them and other activities. These guys are going to be here. Get to know them. And let's make up our mind. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it together. It takes all of us, every one of us. Thank you so much. God bless you.